if you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है, तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो, so that I know you are with me live in the session. We just wait for a couple of minutes till few people join in. बट अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है और आप लाइव हो, तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो. Good afternoon, Murthy ji, Karthik ji. Good afternoon to you as well. Is my audio video clear, guys? If you all can, if anyone can confirm in the chat box. I hope I'm audible, and I hope you all are able to see my screen as well. Yeah, Sridhar ji is saying hi, audio video clear. Okay, perfect, great. So let us start off with the bid market session today. So सबसे पहले शुरुआत करते हैं ग्लोबल मार्केट अपडेट से. So कल अगर हम यूएस इंडाइसेस की बात करें, तो डाउ जोन्स क्लोज्ड अराउंड 0.14% हायर, S&P 500 भी 0.79% ऊपर क्लोज हुआ, and Nasdaq also closed around 1.38% higher. So Nasdaq significantly outperformed the other two indices, closing around 1.38% higher. If you look at Dow futures is down 0.34%. So that is indicating flat to slight negative start to the US markets today. If you look at the European markets had a good outing yesterday. Germany closed around 1%. So that was the best performing European index, followed by London, which closed 0.65% higher. France closed 0.8% higher, while the Euro Stoxx index closed 0.11% higher. If we look at the Asian markets, I think we are awaiting Bank of Japan's interest rate announcement in the day, and I think Nikkei is the best performing Asian index, that is up around 1%. So like I've said yesterday, the rate hike is kind of factored in. So a 25 basis point rate hike is what the announcement is likely to be. We are yet to see the announcement. But again, like I said, even if there's a rate hike, I don't think there is going to be much impact on the markets because I mean, the rate hike is already factored in. And we have already seen some choppy moves in the market over the past, couple of weeks. If instead of 25 basis point, if they go for a 50 basis point, I think that can probably lead to some correction in our markets. We could probably have the 50-day EMA broken, and we might go below 25,700 if that happens. But if Japan decides not to hike the interest rates, I think that will be a big boost. I think the Japanese yields will kind of cool down, and probably our markets will, go up from the current levels. But if you look at the Japanese 10-year yields, that is already above the 2%. There is a fresh high that we are seeing in the Japanese 10-year yields. So I think the Bank of Japan keeping the rates unchanged, I think that is unlikely. I think they're definitely going for a 25 basis point cut. And like I said, it's already factored in, so I don't think there is going to be a significant impact post that. If you look at Hang Seng is up 0.9%, Shanghai is up 0.3%, Kospi is up 0.65%. Nifty and Sensex, we have seen good bounce back again from the 50-day EMA level. So 25,700, 25,750 continues to act as a strong support for Nifty. While even Sensex is 100 points lower, than the 85,000 mark. It's at 84,900, up in the range of 0.5%. So if we see for the last 1 month, again, Dow Jones and Euro Stoxx 50, that has been the best performing indices, both closing in the range of nearly 4%. Kospi, Nikkei, S&P 500, even these three indices had a good last 1 month, both closing in the range of 2%. The only index that has kind of lagged behind, that is Nifty. Nifty is down 0.04%. and Shanghai is down 1.12% here. So Nifty and China, India and China, these are, and followed by Hang Seng, these are the three indices that has relatively underperformed in the last 1 month. Oh, Bank of Japan has announced 25 basis point hike. Uh, I don't think that will impact your Indian GSEC much, because I think a major part of that has already been factored in. If you look at the macro indicators, so dollar index has seen some bounce from the 97.45 level. But I think as long as it stays below the 9900 mark, the overall trajectory for dollar index continues to remain down. If you look at the Japanese government bonds 10-year yield, so you can see that yields have gone up by almost 3% today. So there is a fresh breakout. Again, I feel there could be some outflows from Indian markets if yield continues to move higher. That makes the Japanese markets attractive. So there could be some flows out of Indian markets, some flows out of US markets as well. Probably there could be some sell-off in US treasuries. So that could probably get the yields up in the US market as well. But I think Fed has announced a 40 billion dollars of purchase. So I think that is probably going to keep the rates stable. But maybe we could see some spike in our yields as well. So rupee probably that could depreciate. That is again a negative sign for us. But if you look at dollar by rupee, it's at around 90.23. Though we have seen dollar weakening in the last three sessions, but if this, we'll have to wait and see if there is more yen carry trade that pans out. Because if that happens, rupee will lose strength. Probably even dollar might also weaken against the basket of six currencies. And we could see Nikkei index performing well, probably from a short to medium term perspective, because again, the yields are much attractive there. But if we look at Indian yields, so Indian yields again, we could see it spiked up to 6.67%. Then there was a pullback. And now again, the yields are kind of consolidating in the range here. But if we see yields going up above 6.6, 6.7%, that could again make the Indian bond markets much attractive as compared to the equity markets. And even if you look at US government bonds, 10-year yields, again, they've been like consolidating in a range. So as long as 4.2% is not taken out, chances are that the yield is likely to remain in that area here. But the fact that both whether it's RBI, even they said there will be some swaps they will do. They will probably try to manage the dollar by rupee. And even US has announced that they will buy around $40 billion of treasuries. So even if there is an outflow, I feel there is not going to be much significant impact. I think that is why the announcement has probably come from both RBI and Federal Reserve. So we'll have to, I think, wait and see how this kind of pans out going forward. If you look at crude oil, so crude oil again, it has taken some bounce from 55, $56 a barrel, but the overall trajectory still continues to remain down. So as long as it trades below the $60 a barrel mark, the overall trend is likely to be negative. India VIX continues to move lower, so that provides some comfort to the bulls. We are at 9.52. I mean, that's the lowest probably since last almost from 23rd of September. So almost roughly around 3 months low ke aspas hai India VIX abhi. So your premiums will be cheaper. It's a good sign for the bulls. So there is no signs of any panic or fear, because if ये जापान हाइक से इंटरेस्ट रेट हाइक से अगर कुछ fear signs होता, तो that would have reflected in India VIX. But I don't think there is anything of that sort as far as India VIX is concerned. And if you look at silver continues to move higher. It's at around $65 an ounce, with around $60 an ounce acting as a strong support for silver. If you look at gold, so gold also continues to be in a sideways range. It's at near its key resistance of $4,380 an ounce. Any move above 4,380, that can push the gold prices even further up. So all in all, I feel, in fact, it is a good sign. I think the markets have kind of recovered today. despite the rate hike announcement. And like I said, that rate hike has already been factored in. जो चॉपिनेस हमने बीच में देखा था 1-2 दिन में, आई थिंक वो शायद उसी के कारण था. And I think we have started to recover now. But I think the main momentum in the markets will now come once FPI start covering their short positions. Because फिलहाल के लिए तो कुछ ऐसे लग नहीं रहा है कि FPI कोई मूड में अपना शॉर्ट पोजिशंस कवर करने का. बिकॉज अगर आप देखोगे 14 लगातार सेशन में उन्होंने तकरीबन 28,500 करोड़ का सेलिंग किया था कैश मार्केट में. और पिछले 2 दिन देवर नेट बायर्स, हालांकि 1700 करोड़ का बाइंग किया है उन्होंने कैश मार्केट में. But this figure is very insignificant, compared to the sell-off that we have seen by them. So, सिर्फ ये 2 दिन का figure देख के we can't say that the FIs have well and truly come back. The sentiment still remains bearish as far as the FIIs are concerned. And if you look at the long-short ratio, that has relatively stayed flat. It's at around 8.17%. So FPIs still continue to hold 92% short positions and only 8% long positions in index futures. So I feel जो market में जो momentum lacking है, I think that will only come once FIIs participate in our markets. फिलहाल के लिए they are in a wait and watch mode. Probably I could see only one reason for that, or maybe a couple of reasons. One reason would be एक India US का trade deal. अभी वो काफी delayed हो चुका है. I think everyone was waiting for it to, year the, they were hoping that the deal gets finalized by year end. एक interim deal का बीच में आया था, but again there is no announcement regarding that. So that is making the FIIs cautious. तो wait and watch approach लेके चल रहे हैं markets में. दूसरा, अभी RBI has kind of intervened. They have sold dollars and that has got the rupee to appreciate. But still, I feel, dollar is at the elevated levels. We need dollar to move towards 87, 88. That is when thoda confidence आ सकता है कि, FIIs might start covering the shorts now. So I think these were the main developments. Federal Reserve announcement, Bank of Japan. I think now the next week, as we head to the Christmas week, it's a holiday season in Europe and US. So the FPI activity is going to be relatively subdued. शायद volumes कम होंगे, liquidity भी कम होगा. And our markets also will not see that kind of momentum until the year closes by. Probably January first week onwards, second week onwards, you will see some action picking in, and that is when our quarterly third quarter results will start coming out. I think that is the next trigger. And now the focus will shift to the union budget, which will be presented on February 1st. This time, the budget happens to come on a Sunday, so February 1st. So we'll have to see if we have it on Sunday or it gets pushed to Monday. But nevertheless, now the next triggers would be the quarterly results, that is your third quarter results, and any progress on India-US deal. I think that is likely to be the next major overhang for the Indian markets now. Now, if we look at Nifty, so Nifty, like I said, it has taken support from that 25,700, 25,750 zone. That is where the 50-day EMA for Nifty was placed. And today, one positive thing is, all this while it was below the trend line here, but I think today seems like we might get a close above the trend line. The downward sloping trend line, connecting the highs of 26,326 on 1st December, 26,179 on 8th December, and around 26,047 on 15th of December. So it's good that, looks like if this sustains, we might see a close above the 25,950, 26,000 level. That is very important. And the fact that the 50-day EMA is held, so you can see almost a double top, double bottom. अब तक double bottom confirm नहीं हुआ है. So this will be the neckline. It's not a typical double bottom, but I think this level needs to be crossed. That is 26,055 on the upside. ये वाला जो level है इसको मैं bold कर देता हूँ शायद. Okay, the blue line that you see, this 26,055, 26,100, that level needs to be taken out. Though we have got a trend line breakout, but I feel the momentum will come once 26,055, 26,100 is taken out. And then we can expect 26,200 followed by 26,330. So it's good that Nifty has kind of held on to its 50-day EMA. That is a positive sign. So, and you can see RSI also slightly improving from 46 to 52, and we could see MACD bars shrinking bar today. So kind of the momentum is slightly on the bullish side, and obviously we will also get a higher close, but the structure is very similar. If you see the last 3 days, the previous time it bounced, एक गैप अप के साथ हमें एक ऊपर क्लोजिंग मिला था, बट वहां से 3 दिन हम नीचे आ गए थे, फिर से 50 डे EMA के बाद एक गैप अप के बाद ऊपर क्लोज मिला है. Hopefully it should sustain now and not again come below this trend line here. So 25,700, 25,750 continues to act as a strong support. On the upside, if we go about 26,050, 26,100, then we can move higher towards 26,200 and 26,300 levels. If we look at Sensex, so Sensex has not crossed above the trend line yet. Nifty already trend line के ऊपर है, but अगर हम Sensex की बात करें, ये जो 86,160 का हाई है और 85,723 का हाई है, और आज भी भले ही निफ्टी ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट देके ऊपर ट्रेड कर रहा है, बट सेंसेक्स इज येट टू गिव अ ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट. सो आई फील दिस लेवल इज इंपॉर्टेंट. 85,050, 85,100. I just marked the line here. So it needs to break above this 85,050. I think once we get that, then we can expect 85,400 followed by 85,800 levels in the short term. And on the downside, I feel 84,300, 84,400, that zone is likely to act as a strong support. Sensex relatively is underperforming the Nifty index here. Considering the fact that Nifty has given a trendline breakout, while Sensex is yet to give a trendline breakout here. So 85,050, 85,100, if we get a break above, then Sensex can move higher. And on the downside, 85, 84,300, 84,400, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for Sensex. If you look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty relatively is weak today. अगर हम देखेंगे डाउनवर्ड ये अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन है, यहाँ पे हमें ब्रेकडाउन मिला था. कल ऐसे लग रहा था कि बैंक निफ्टी माइट क्लोज हायर, बट द लेट सेलिंग इन द सेकंड हाफ kind of pushed the prices down, and you could see a long lower upper wick in yesterday's session. So that and वो upper wick भी कहाँ पे आया, देखो एग्जैक्ट को ट्रेंड लाइन रेजिस्टेंस है, वहां से हमें एक सेलिंग देखने को मिला है कल. सो बैंक निफ्टी थोड़ा सा चॉपी लग रहा है, थोड़ा सा वीक लग रहा है एज कंपेयर्ड टू निफ्टी. And I think this will be a key level to watch out. I think 59,200, 59,300, this will be a major resistance for Bank Nifty. And जब तक हम इसके ऊपर नहीं जाते तब तक शायद एक पुल बैक वो हमें नहीं देखने को मिलेगा. और ये शायद अभी भी 20 डे EMA के नीचे है. कल भी एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कैंडल बना था, बट इट गेव अप ऑल द गेन्स हियर. एंड जब तक 59,200, 59,300 के ऊपर हमें क्लोज नहीं मिलता है बैंक निफ्टी में, आई फील बैंक निफ्टी थोड़ा रिलेटिवली वीक लग रहा है एज कंपेयर्ड टू निफ्टी एंड सेंसेक्स हियर. एंड ऑन द डाउन साइड सेम ये जो 58,500, 58,600, that is likely to act as a strong support zone. But don't be heavily long on Bank Nifty because जब तक ये 59,200, 59,300 ऊपर की तरफ ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिलता है, तब तक आई थिंक साइडवेज टू बेरिश रह सकता है बैंक निफ्टी. Now if you look at the heat map today, I think Reliance is up 1.5%, so that is kind of holding up Nifty today. Even the IT is doing well. Infi and TCS both are up. HCL Tech is seeing some profit booking, 1.3% down. In the private banking space, ICICI Bank is almost flat. HDFC is doing well, 0.32%. Shriram Finance, again, it's up 3.54%. Geo Finance is up 1%. Both the Bajaj twins are up. Axis Bank, Kotak Bank is relatively flat. Axis Bank is up 0.3%. So good support from BFSI, IT and oil and gas. These are the top heavyweight sectors. And that is the reason why our markets are relatively doing well today. Even the auto space is doing well. Maruti, Mahindra, Bajaj is a 1.6%, Eicher is a 1.39%, even passenger vehicles, Tata Motors is a 1.4%. Good support from the FMCG SPAC as well. Hindustan Unilever is a 0.54%. Tata Consumer, Nestle, ITC, both are up. So FMCG, auto, oil and gas, IT, your BFSI, this is a good support. Even L&T is a 1.4%, Power Grid is a 1.28%. There is some recovery that we are seeing in BL, though the overall defense space is still down. But nevertheless, there is some pullback that we are seeing in the defense space here. But don't consider this pullback as a reversal in the defense space. अभी तक हमें कुछ strong reversal signs मिले नहीं है. Even healthcare stocks में भी एक pullback आया है. But like we have discussed, the healthcare sector is still underperforming. Asian Paints is up 1%. So I would see the only stocks that are in red, HCL Tech is down 1.3%. Then we have Dr. Reddy down 0.49%. Adani is down 0.35%. And Hindalco is seeing some profit booking today around 0.74% lower. And Bharti Airtel has just turned mildly negative. So these are the stocks that are in red. But the market breadth is positive for Nifty. If you look at the sectors to watch for the last 5 days, if we see again, it's IT that is still stronger. PSU Bank, there is some traction in some of the PSU names. Oil and gas is doing well thanks to Reliance. But if you look at sectors that are underperforming, you can see private banks is down around 1.5%, and Bank Nifty में थोड़ा weakness दिख रहा है. That is because private banking space में थोड़ा profit booking नजर आ रहा है. Defense भी almost 1.54% नीचे है. Realty is also one sector that is down, and even metal stocks are seeing some profit booking. Though overall the structure is positive for metals, but profit booking today is kind of weighing on the sentiment here. So Bank Nifty relatively weaker, while IT is the only strongest performing sector out of the other sectors here. Now, if you look at the key stocks to watch out, which are the stocks that are in focus, the first stock that I want to talk about is JK Tyre. So we are seeing some tire names doing well, like JK Tyre, CEAT, and also lower crude oil prices also helps the tire companies. Because tire ke liye, a crude derivative, that's a raw material for them. So lower prices kind of helps the tire companies, and we could see there is a fresh breakout in JK Tyre. So around 480, 475, 480. That was a strong resistance, and today the breakout is supported by volumes. RSI is also above 60. The DI lines are widening, and MACD is almost on the verge of a crossover. So it's very important that 475 के ऊपर अभी क्लोज मिलना चाहिए JK Tyre में. Once we get that, I think we can expect stock moving towards 515, 520 levels in the short term, with around 460 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, RR Cable, so we had discussed this stock a couple of days back. If you remember, there is a head and shoulder kind of pattern. So this is your shoulder, this is your big head, this is again your shoulder. And there were multiple resistances in this area. And there was multiple resistance in around 1520 level. And I think once even 1520 gets taken out, I think chances are that RR Cable can move up higher towards 1550, 1580. And I think around 1410, 1420, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for RR Cable here. Apart from that, even Laurus Labs. So Laurus Labs had given a breakout today. So the previous high of 1040 acted as a strong resistance. And today in the morning trade, we were well above the previous high. But there was some profit booking that we have seen at the higher levels here. But I think once Laurus Labs closes about 1040, then chances are that we can see 1070, 1080 levels in the short term in Laurus Labs as well, with around 1010, 1011 acting as a strong support for the stock. Reliance again, post the brief consolidation. If you see from almost 3rd of December, it was consolidating in that 1560, 1520 range. And today again, there is a fresh breakout in Reliance. And hopefully the next resistance is around 1580. I think once it takes out 1580, then chances are that the stock can keep doing well, with around 1530, 1520 acting as a strong support for the counter. So Reliance is also positive. Apart from that, Prudent is one stock. We had also discussed Prudent. So you can see Prudent has been moving in a sideways range, unable to cross the 2700 mark decisively. Yesterday also it attempted. Today also it made an attempt. Today's high was around 2759. But the last 2 days, though it is trying to close above the 2700 mark, there is some selling pressure at the higher levels. But once I feel 2750 is taken out. I think prudent is poised to move up higher. I think it can move towards 2800, followed by 2900 in the short term. And with the previous low of 2590, 2600, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, even FEM Industries, if you look at FEM, तो FEM में भी एक previous resistance के आसपास है around 2375, and once I think 2375 is taken out, chances are that FEM can also move higher. The stock has been holding on to its 20-day EMA from the 25th of September, November, and this zone is acting as a dynamic support zone for the stock. And I think any move above 2375 is likely to be positive for FEM. Apart from that, even Infosys today, there is some profit booking in Infosys today, but Infosys again post the breakout, it was consolidating. We can see some strong traction picking up in the IT space. But I think if Infi closes above 1630, chances are that it is likely to move higher. 1630 is a strong support level for Infosys. I think if we see any reversal signs for Infosys around the 1630 zone, chances are that Infosys can kind of move up higher. And the last stock that I want to discuss today is Hindustan Petroleum. So Hindustan Petroleum has been consolidating in a sideways range in the last 4 or 5 trading sessions. So you can see some candles with lower wicks and higher wicks. But I think once 470 is taken out, chances are that we can see around 490, 495 levels, with around 455 acting as a strong support for the stock. So these are the stocks. So this was an update on the mid markets today. So let us start off with our question and answer session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them. So I already have some queries here. So let me try answering them. RSI positive divergence in PPL Pharma. Not really, because though the price has made lower lows, RSI मतलब एकदम छोटा डाइवर्जेंस है. आइडियली थोड़ा बड़ा डाइवर्जेंस होना चाहिए मूर्ति जी. बट अगर डाइवर्जेंस इसको माने तो भी जब तक ये ब्रेकआउट नहीं आता, it's not a clear setup, though I think it's avoid. Well, it's a very small divergence, not a big enough divergence to consider this a divergence in the first place. And even if you get a divergence, you need a breakout. So, and the overall trend for PPL is still down. So as long as there's 175, 178 is not taken out, the trend is likely to be negative. Ganesh ji is asking for DCX systems. It's just the first pullback from the lows, Ganesh ji. I think avoid for now, because you can't call this as a trend reversal yet. I think this zone 153 that is likely to act as a strong support. हो सकता है ऊपर जाके थोड़ा सा एक correction आए and then again second tick भी वो high के ऊपर जाता है. I think then we can consider कि DCX systems में एक trend reversal दिख रहा है, but too early to call this as a trend reversal here. Though it is above the 20-day EMA, but we need some more strong reversal signs in this counter. UFO movies. UFO movies again, I think there is one major resistance here. So if we see, it needs to break the 90 mark, because the previous 2 times it tried to cross the 90 mark, but it was unable to do so. But I think once it takes out 90, then I think chances are that it can kind of move up higher. And around 80 is likely to act as a strong support. Please guide about Anant Raj. Okay. Anand Raj is down. I think 485 is a strong support. I think avoid this stock, because jab tak hame, if we take a trend line, I think till the time we don't get a breakout above 565, 570, it's better to avoid this stock. Divya Darpal ji. Okay, Manoj ji is asking grow के लिए avoid करना. I think आपने कल भी पूछा, Manoj ji है. Grow again, wait, though there is some recovery today, it's at 158, it's at 142 currently, but wait for a breakout above. Ace first tick aaya, let's see if it is able to sustain higher, but for now consider around 140 as a support for Grow. Aarti Farm, avoid because clear directional move है नहीं यहाँ पे. So maybe you can consider around 685 as a support. But as long as 800 is not taken out, I think it's better to avoid Aarti Farm Labs. Shriram Pistons is good. But I think once let's wait for it to cross 3,200, 3,225. I think we can expect momentum to pick up in Shriram Pistons. While on the downside, consider 2930. That is where the 20-day EMA is placed. Consider that as immediate support for the stock. Binoji is asking for Adani Ports. माधव जी अवॉइड डिफेंस स्टॉक्स फॉर नाउ. आई थिंक अगर है तो बुक करना. डोंट होल्ड फॉर अ लॉन्गर टाइम बिकॉज करंटली द ट्रेंड इज डाउन योर. Adani Ports, wait until we take out 1545 1550 on the upside. जब तक ये लेवल का ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिलता है, it's better to avoid Adani Ports. If you're already holding, then consider having 1465 as a support for the stock. As and when BOJ commences partial liquidation of their $1.2 trillion, it would be a lethal blow. Yeah, absolutely, Rakesh ji. I'm pretty sure, and that is probably uh, I don't a partial liquidation, but I think that is the reason why Fed has announced a $40 billion purchase of treasuries as well. So they are kind of that would probably kind of balance it out. But we'll have to wait and see as to how that pans out. I think that is a major trigger for the markets going ahead. IDFC First Bank, yes, I think it's a good stock. It's in a nice positive trend. You can continue to hold with around 82 as a support for the stock here. ICICI AMC. See, I think look at it from a long term perspective. I think चार्ट देखे तो बोलना काफी डिफिकल्ट होगा कि आपको होल्ड करना चाहिए, एग्जिट करना चाहिए. So it's one of the biggest AMC names, after SBI. So I think probably a long term play आप थोड़ा और होल्ड कर सकते हो विजय जी. I think too early to say if यहाँ से निकलना चाहिए कि नहीं. I think have it in your portfolio because SIP book जितना ज्यादा बढ़ता होगा उतना ज्यादा ये पॉजिटिव होगा ये स्टॉक के लिए. And it's probably one of the largest companies after SBI mutual fund. So continue to hold. Don't exit at this point. IRFC सुमन जी अवॉइड करना बिकॉज ये रेलवे स्टॉक्स में बिल्कुल मोमेंटम नहीं है, डाउन ट्रेंड में है. अराउंड 110 का सपोर्ट लेके चलना. आई थिंक इट्स बेटर इट्स एग्जिट दिस स्टॉक इफ यू हैव बिकॉज देयर इज नो मोमेंटम इन दिस काउंटर. By the way, no pistons required in EVs, which is increasing share across vehicle categories. I didn't get that, Rakesh ji. Vinay ji is asking for TCS. TCS is good. I think you can continue to hold. It's at 3295. I think you can consider around 3,200, 3,210 as a support for the stock. Adani Power. फिलहाल के लिए अवॉइड करना. आई थिंक इसका एक 133 इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट. देयर इज नो स्ट्रॉन्ग मोमेंटम इन दिस काउंटर. तो जब तक ये 145 150 के ऊपर जब तक ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिलता है, इट्स बेटर टू अवॉइड अदानी पावर. कुछ मोमेंटम नहीं है. अगर आपके पास ऑलरेडी है तो मे बी यू कैन कंसिडर हैविंग अराउंड 134 एज योर इमीडिएट स्टॉप लॉस. Below that, chances are that the price can fall down even further. If you look at Paradeep Phosphate, so even Paradeep is in a downtrend. I think 148 149 is a you can hold until 149. Mukesh ji, below 149 it's better to exit because structure थोड़ा सा weak है यहाँ पे. अच्छा, Shriram Pistons. Yeah, Shriram Pistons is again it's relatively good stock. The trend is also positive in Shriram Pistons. I think once it takes out 3,225, chances are that the price can keep moving higher. Any other queries, any other stocks? Do let me know. I think I missed out some. I think Canes and Indigo. Manoj ji, wait karna Canes and Indigo में. Canes to avoid karna because below 3830, chances are that it can fall down even further. IDFC First Bank, I would say rather than a call, it's better to get into the cash market. उसका 81 82 के आसपास सपोर्ट लेके आप चल सकते हो इसका. BSC wait until it takes out 2770. I think about 2770. I think we can expect the price to move higher. Though the overall trend is still positive, it's just that अभी फिलहाल के लिए momentum नहीं है stock में. Netweb, avoid Netweb. थोड़ा सा reversal signs आने दो 3370 के आसपास. I think consider 2970 as a support for the stock. बंधन बैंक भी थोड़ा अवॉइड ही करना बिकॉज ओवरऑल ट्रेजेक्टरी अभी भी डाउन है. आई थिंक यू कैन maybe consider having let's say 140 139 140 as a support. फिरोज भाई, आई थिंक सिल्वर ओवरऑल इसका ट्रेजेक्टरी अच्छा ही है, बट फिलहाल के लिए सिल्वर में इन्वेस्ट मत करना बिकॉज सी ऑलरेडी सिल्वर प्राइसेस हैव रन अप अ लॉट, काफी ऊपर चला गया है. ऑलमोस्ट अगर आप देखोगे 20 पिछले एक महीने से ही ऑलमोस्ट 140 से 190 हो गया है उसको. सो वेट फॉर सम करेक्शन, थोड़ा सा करेक्ट होने दो बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं कि वो वन वे सिल्वर ऊपर ही जाते होगा. अप ट्रेंड में ही है, ओवरऑल ट्रेंड पॉजिटिव है, बट जैसे ही थोड़ा करेक्शन आता है और फिर एक रिवर्सल आता है, दैट इज द टाइम दैट यू कैन एंटर इनटू सिल्वर अगेन एंड लुक एट सिल्वर फ्रॉम अ स्लाइटली लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव. एटलीस्ट 5-7 years का पर्सपेक्टिव से एसआईपी अगर आप कर रहे हो तो आप लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए कर ही सकते हो. बट इफ यू आर लुकिंग टू एंटर नाउ, वेट थोड़ा टाइम के लिए वेट करना बिकॉज सिल्वर ऑलरेडी थोड़ा एक्सटेंड हो चुका है एंड राइट नाउ इट वोंट बी वाइज टू बाय एट दी हायर लेवल्स. थोड़ा सा लेट इट करेक्ट एंड फिर से अगर एक रिवर्सल साइन मिलता है देन आई थिंक दैट वुड बी अ गुड लेवल टू consider entering in silver. If you're talking about GMDC, I think wait until 535 540 is taken out. जब तक वो breakout नहीं मिलता है, it's better to avoid. If you look at graphite, avoid graphite guy. I think graphite is again 520 is a strong support. There is no momentum in this counter. जब तक 555 560 के ऊपर breakout नहीं मिलता है, it's better to avoid. Which stock is NRPL? I'm not getting NRPL, Madhav ji. SCI again avoid. ये भी इसका there is one key resistance. जब तक 220 के नीचे रहता है, the stock is likely to remain under pressure. 220 is a strong resistance for the stock. Deepak Nitrate. Deepak Nitrate, too early to call this reversal because अभी भी इसका overall trend down है. Wait until 1740 1750 is taken out on the upside. जब तक वो नहीं मिलता है तब तक it's better to avoid Deepak Nitrate. LG India फिलहाल वो प्रेशर में है, बट आई थिंक फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव it's good, but it's in a falling mode. I think very difficult to say what would be the support level as far as the technical charts are concerned, because ये listing से गिरते हुए नजर आ रहा है. So फिलहाल के लिए consider 1500 as an SL, and अगर आप long term के लिए तो I think continue to hold because it's a long term story. Monday market will correct again, new normal. So MRPL again avoid करना. 140 एक support है. I think below 140 the price can correct even further. Shriram Finance, yeah, Shriram Finance is good. Maybe you can consider having around 870 as an SL. अभी फिलहाल 907 चल रहा है. I think consider 870 as stop loss or support for the stock. सर एपीएल अपोलो में 1800 पुट सेल कर सकते हैं क्या फॉर जैन मंथ? ओके, लेट मी लुक एट एपीएल अपोलो. या यू कैन कंसिडर. I think 1725 1750 is a strong support for the stock. It's good. APL Apollo, if I'm not wrong, it comes under the metal space. Sand metal is outperforming. Yeah, you can consider 1800. Uh, Probably you can go even lower. Maybe you can even consider 1750 put sell if that is liquid enough. So around 1750, 1760 put sell. I think it can move towards 1825, 1830. I think वहां तक जा सकता है APL Apollo. Nika. Okay, let me look at Nika. Nika, see, currently the trend is slightly negative for Nika. It has given an upward sloping breakdown. And I think if it 240 is a support, if it breaks 240, it can go towards 225. And I think up move, jab tak wo 255, 258 cross nahi karta hai on the upside, it's better to avoid Nika for now. Clear. So I guess that's a wrap of this week's mid-market session. I hope it was informative and it is adding value to you. And if you find these sessions valuable, do share the mid-market links with your friends, families, and relatives as well. And so we take days off now. So happy weekend to everyone. And we'll meet again on the 22nd of December as we start the Christmas week. So next week, we have a holiday on Thursday on account of Christmas, so it will be a holiday truncated week. And we'll also have the monthly expiry next week. So we'll have the rollover session. Plus on Tuesday, there'll be a webinar that I'll be taking on relative rotational graph. So last week we had a webinar on ratio charts. This Tuesday we'll do an extension of ratio charts, that is relative rotational graphs. So how do you find outperforming sectors, underperforming sectors? How do you find stocks for swings? So that webinar is happening on Tuesday from 4 to 5. And until then, take care, stay safe, happy weekend, and I'll see you on Monday at 12:30 on SBI Securities YouTube channel. Bye, guys. Take care and stay safe. See you.